Your brain's lightning-fast judgments feel like insight, but they're actually mental shortcuts that can cost you everything. Today we're diving into the halo effect, anchoring, and the dangerous power of first impressions. Because what you notice first often shapes what you believe next, even if it's wrong. Within 7 seconds of meeting someone, you've already decided whether you like them, trust them, and want to work with them. This lightning-fast judgment feels like insight, but it's actually one of the most expensive mental shortcuts you'll ever make. The halo effect is the tendency to let one positive trait influence your perception of everything else. If someone is articulate, well, you assume they're intelligent. If they're well-dressed, you assume they're successful. If they're confident, well, you assume they're competent. This single bias has cost businesses billions of dollars in bad hires, investors trillions in poor decisions, and individuals countless opportunities. Look at how this plays out in the business world. We humans crave simple answers to complex problems. When it comes to attaining business success, we effortlessly embrace a good story, especially if it's delivered under the halo of a confident speaker with good delivery. When companies like Enron or Cisco were flying high, business authors praised their visionary leadership and innovative culture. When they crashed, those same traits became reckless arrogance and toxic culture. Phil Rosenzweig exposed this perfectly in his prize-winning book, The Halo Effect. He showed that much of our thinking about company performance is shaped by the halo effect. When a company is growing and profitable, well, we infer it has brilliant strategy and motivated people. When performance falters, well, we say the strategy was misguided and the people complacent. The principal flaw in bestsellers like Good to Great and Built to Last and In Search of Excellence is that they claim to identify the drivers of success, but they mainly show how high performers get described. But simple logic should tell us if there really were just 5 or 7 magic steps to guarantee success, well, wouldn't every company be using them? But the halo effect is just one of many first impression traps. Anchoring bias. Well, it causes us to rely too heavily on the first piece of information we encounter. In 1974, Amos Tversky and Daniel Kahneman conducted a study that exposed anchoring's absurdity. They asked people to estimate how many African countries were in the United Nations. Now, first, they spun a rigged wheel of fortune that always landed on either 10 or 65. Incredibly, people who saw 10 guessed around 25%, while those who saw 65 guessed approximately 45%. And as Kahneman wrote, people's judgments were influenced by an obviously uninformative number. In negotiations, whoever mentions a number first often determines the final outcome, not because their number is fair, but because it becomes the reference point for everything that follows. So what's an acceptable curfew for a 16-year-old? Well, if your child starts negotiations with 2 a.m. as the first number on the table, it will affect the final decision, even if you are thinking more along the lines of 11 p.m. Real estate agents understand anchoring perfectly. They'll show you an overpriced house first, knowing you'll anchor your expectations. Suddenly, the house they actually want to sell seems like a reasonable deal, even if it's still overpriced by market standards. The most insidious aspect of first impressions is that they feel like objective assessments. Your brain doesn't announce, "I'm now making a snap judgment based on limited information." Instead, it presents these impressions as facts about the world. Here's how to protect yourself. Before making any significant decision involving people, investments, or opportunities, write down your first impressions. Then deliberately seek information that contradicts those impressions. If you think someone is brilliant, ask about their failures. We all have them. If an investment seems like a sure thing, research why it might fail. If an opportunity seems perfect, identify what you might be missing. Now, the goal isn't to become cynical. It's to become accurate. First impressions contain valuable information, but they're incomplete information. And incomplete information, no matter how confidently your mind presents it, is a dangerous foundation for important decisions. Good decision makers, they have learned to treat first impressions as hypotheses to be tested, not conclusions to be trusted. They recognize that the mind's desire for quick closure can be the enemy of good judgment. Now, tomorrow, we'll explore how confirmation bias ensures that even when we try to test our initial impressions, we often end up confirming what we already believe. I'll see you tomorrow.